Okay, well, here we go. Hello, good evening. My name is April Pointer, and I'm here to talk to you guys tonight about Young Living and winter skincare. I've been with Young Living since 2009. It will be 17 years in like 3 weeks. I can't even believe that. That's wild to me. But here we are. I've used Young Living for winter skincare for 17 years. I started making the switch to natural things. Oh, I don't know, early 2000s. And then Young Living was like the missing link in our family's move to non-toxic and holistic story. So it's a long story. It started with the swine flu and thieves and recovering from that. And then we moved into all things Young Living. So we love all their cleaning products, all their skin products, all the supplements, and of course the essential oils. They are the only ones I would ever trust on my family, on my children, on my pets. Yes, I use our oils on my cats and my sister's horses and her dogs. So, welcome. Just want to say a quick welcome. Um, anyway, I'm going to be going back and forth admitting people into this waiting room. So, forgive me if I have to stop every so often. But let's just go ahead and dive in about winter skin and young living. I believe that winter skin is treated from the inside out. Food, water, and of course, all of our Young Living essentials. Um, we're going to be talking about all of those things tonight because winter is so hard on our skin, and I want to talk to you about what we can do about that naturally. I'm from Texas. It doesn't get that cold where I live, but I visit my sister often in Kentucky and my mom, and it's freezing, like freezing. And I'm here now, actually. I'm visiting them. And when I get here, my skin just like shrivels up. The inside of my nose completely dries out. Even in the summer, it's so much drier here. Or when we go to Utah to go to the Young Living farm or convention or whatever, it's just the air just sucks the moisture out of your skin so quickly. So, I have to be so mindful about drinking water and taking supplements and using oils and all of the non-toxic things to support my skin barrier. But so the number one thing I want to say first is hydration. That is by far key of everything is hydrating. And it's more about what we're putting in our body than what we're putting on our body, which I'll get to later. So let's start with the inside. We want to hydrate deeply and support the skin barrier. Of course, we want non-toxic ingredients. The stores are full, chock full of super toxic lotions and oils and anything, just things that you put on your skin and hair stuff. And these are things that can disrupt our endocrine system, our hormones, and we wonder why like our hormones are so crazy. They can cause cancer. A lot of them have known carcinogen ingredients in them. And a lot of them will mimic estrogen in the body because they'll have um, xenoestrogens, which is like a fake, like what's in plastic, and that can get in and on our body or in different makeups and perfumes. So it's really important to choose non-toxic and really research your labels and companies that you're buying from. Really making sure you're not buying from a company that's greenwashing everything. If you don't know what greenwashing is, please Google it. It is really important that we don't fall for that. Sorry, I'm admitting people while I'm talking and going off my outline. Okay, so dryness and hydration and all of that. So we want to keep our skin barrier um, moisturized and hydrated, and we want to use non-toxic, and we want to keep our routine simple. So simple, right? And consistent. Like those are the small daily habits that matter more than anything. Um, I think we feel winter first in our skin, no matter how much winter you live in. I mean, Hawaii is not getting winter, but most of us in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere are going to feel winter, and we feel it in our skin. We feel it in dryness, dullness, sensitivity, redness, irritation. Um, and What I love about a holistic and natural approach, especially with Young Living, is that it looks at hydration, it looks at nutrition, it looks at overall lifestyle, and just clean products altogether. And so that's what we're going to talk to. So, why is winter so hard on us? Well, I feel like it just creates this perfect storm for skin issues. Cold air outside holds very little moisture. And then we have indoor heating that dries the air out even more. We've got wind exposure, hot showers that dries people out. And then something we don't really think about that dries out our skin is heavy clothing. Isn't that crazy? Never really think about that, but that is a thing. It really is. So, with that, the cold temperatures and heavy clothing can actually reduce blood flow to the skin, which means we've got fewer nutrients, we've got slower repair, and some of us take longer, hotter showers, like, my husband. And that just strips away the natural oils on our skin. And then we're also less likely to drink enough water in the winter, even though our skin needs it more. That weakens our skin barrier and again leads to all the dryness and flaking and redness and irritation and tightness. And like, I just, I hate that feeling in the winter where your skin just feels so tight and dry. And you're like, I just want to soak in a tub of massage oil or something to just relieve myself of that. But that is not the answer. The answer is starting with the inside first. So I'm going to talk about that first. And that first concern is hydration. And cold weather reduces our thirst signals. And so we tend to drink a lot less water without even realizing it. So guilty here. So if you're counting your ounces of water, you're probably finding it harder to drink water in the winter, and getting through all of your ounces. If you're not counting your ounces, you might not even be drinking anything till lunchtime and not even realizing it. It just, those senses kind of get deadened with the cold. And so it dehydrates us and we don't even realize it. And so the indoor heat then pulls out more moisture out of our skin. And then, oh my word, if you sleep under an electric blanket, we need to talk. But there's way more reasons in dry skin to not do that. But if you do sleep under an electric blanket, that's going to pull even more moisture out of your skin and very quickly. And that's when it starts looking dull and it feels tight. And so hydration is going to be key for that. It supports nutrient delivery. It helps our detox pathways that help our skin repair itself. So I think a very simple tip for winter hydrating is that warm beverages count. Yes, they do. I would say non-caffeinated warm beverages count. Non-caffeinated teas, water and lemon, or lemon and water, I should say, that's warm, or hot broths like chicken or beef broth or vegetable broths. And then when you pair those with mineral-rich foods or electrolytes, that will improve absorption greatly. So anything with caffeine is going to be dehydrating, like coffee, black tea, alcohol. And they say for every cup of alcohol or caffeinated drink, that you should drink 2 glasses of water to replenish that. So that's a lot of going to the bathroom. Secondly, is going to be supplementation and how much it helps with hydration. I'm only going to talk about 3 supplements tonight. I could probably talk about more, but I picked 3 and we're going to stick with that. The first supplement I will say that is by far the most important supplement is an omega-3. It matters so much in the winter. Um, After not drinking enough water, our skin is like desperate for healthy fats, especially omega-3s, because they strengthen the skin barrier. And then when the barrier is strengthened, we have a lot less moisture loss. They work under the surface. They work from the inside out. They also have anti-inflammatory properties. So, hey, who doesn't need that? It can calm redness and irritation in the skin. It can calm winter flare-ups in the skin, especially for people who are sensitive or maybe have eczema-prone skin. Omega-3s are pivotal. They support skin elasticity and smoothness. They prevent cracking. They prevent rough texture. And A lot of times, I just think dry skin isn't just about the lack of moisture, it's the lack of healthy fats. So, great winter sources, including fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel. And then we have other sources of omega-3s like chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts. And then, of course, there's omega-3 supplements. And that's what I want to talk about. There is Young Living's Green Omega. It's phenomenal. If you think of it this way, like your water intake adds moisture, but your omega-3s are what like seal in that moisture. And together they work together and they support softer and calmer and more resilient skin. Young Living's Green Omega is my favorite oil, omega-3 oil out there. It is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, and it is made from marine algal oil, flaxseed oil, and then a touch of clove essential oil. It gives a very high quality source of EPA, DHA, and it doesn't have any fish oil taste or fish oil burps. I know I didn't know this until a few years ago, but I thought omega-3s were only animal derived, meaning like fish derived mostly. And they're not, they're in plants too. So it's easier on digestion for people. I think this green omega, I've heard that a lot the last few years since it launched, and it doesn't have a really bad aftertaste like a fish oil would. Fish oils are also, or omega-3s, excuse me, are also really good for brain. They're really good for the heart. They play a huge role in beauty with hair and skin and nails. And it's one of the things that helps your hair follicles stay healthy. So if you're having hair issues, omega-3s are your answer. Dry scalp, any of that, omega-3s can help with so much with that. People tend to have stronger nails, less splitting because the fats are what help maintain those cell membranes in the tissues like your nail beds. My second supplement tonight I want to talk about for winter skin is type 1 collagen, and specifically Young Living's Inner Beauty Collagen. It is a powder. You add it to a drink, you add it to a soup, a smoothie, yogurt. Like you can add it to anything. It's quite tasteless. You can even add it to water. I can't taste it in water. I know people that can. I'm just not one of them. But you add it, and it's a great source of type 1 collagen. It is type 1 collagen is the most abundant collagen in the human body and the primary structure protein that's in our skin. It's what gives our skin its firmness, its smoothness, and just resilience overall. And as we know, in winter, our skin is under so much more stress because of the cold air and the indoor heat and the wind and the dehydration and just the slower skin repair. It like all contributes to that dryness and that contributes to fine lines and that skin barrier is just gets weak. And so that's where collagen support comes in. It is very helpful. And naturally, as we age, our collagen production will naturally decline, but winter seems to accelerate that. I feel like I have more wrinkles in the winter and very much show my age, when winter rolls around and if I'm dehydrated. So, something else about cold temperatures is it reduces blood flow to the skin. So we have fewer nutrients to our skin cells. It makes collagen fibers less plump and elastic, so skin will look thinner in the winter and it'll look more crepey in the winter, especially as you're like creeping up on 50, like in your 40s, you'll start to really notice that in the winter, your skin can get a little more crepey just from the dryness. And then, perimenopause does not add you any favors, but there's support for that too. Um, Let's see, supporting collagen internally helps your skin stay stronger and just more resilient during these months. So type 1 collagen is what we want to use to strengthen our dermal structure. If you use Inner Beauty Collagen, I don't have the chat open, but I would just love to see. Let me open the chat here. Um, I would just love to see how many of you use it. Just type like a number 1 in the comments if you've used the Inner Beauty Collagen and just Share with us how you use it. If you add it to maybe a morning tea or coffee or smoothie or water, I would just love to know. And then other people can get ideas on how to use it as well. So, yeah, great supplement we have there in our beauty collagen. Um, it's just great. It helps with the skin turnover. Our skin turnover slows down dramatically in winter, so helps our skin recover quickly. It also doesn't work like a quick fix, so I should say that. The collagen is more like nourishment. Most people notice changes in skin hydration. They notice changes in texture, elasticity after about 3 months of usage, consistent usage. And so consistency is key here and just developing those simple routines so that they're easy to do, you know? I think that winter is actually a really ideal time to start collagen because it supports skin before like dryness and damage like fully set in. Because that usually happens like more towards spring when you've exposed yourself to all this dehydration and malnourishment all winter. And I'm not saying everybody does that. I'm just saying for the most part, that is what causes it. So I think winter is a good time to start collagen. Um, the third supplement I want to talk about is vitamin C. And it is one of the most important nutrients for skin health. It becomes even more important in winter when skin is under this constant stress from the environment, with all the cold air and wind and indoor heat and everything. Our skin is just so much slower to repair in the winter. So vitamin C helps support the skin's structure, the hydration, and just I think the overall resilience during winter. Let's see, it is one of the pivotal nutrients you need with collagen. In fact, vitamin C is required for your body to produce collagen, especially type 1 collagen, which gives skin our strength and gives it our elasticity. So, without enough vitamin C, collagen, those fibers get weak, they get fragile, and then it makes our dry winter skin look thin and crepey. Vitamin C is one that strengthens the skin barrier. It supports the protective barrier, keeping moisture in. It keeps environmental stressors out. A stronger barrier on our skin is always going to mean less water loss. It will mean reduced flaking and just an overall better tolerance to cold. It improves skin texture. I'm sure you guys have all seen all the beauty things that come out around the year about vitamin C and skin, but it really does improve texture and it really does improve smoothness. And so it also has antioxidant protection. So we know winter skin is going to be exposed to a lot of oxidative stress and from the cold and from pollution and from travel and indoor air even. So vitamin C will neutralize those free radicals and protect the skin from that kind of damage. And then what else? It wound healing. So if you have any tissue repair needing, whether that's cracked skin or stressed, irritated skin, or just a plain old wound, a first aid wound, vitamin C is going to be really key for that. There's also interesting research and information, I guess, out there about how when you're low in vitamin C, when you have a deficiency, your skin will get dry. It will get rough. It will or heal slower. You will be more sensitive. You will have more sensitive skin, and then your collagen support will be weak. That is telltale signs of low vitamin C. So, best practices would be to take Super C daily. I love the chewables. And that's just because I like to chew on things like gum and things like that. So I don't really count how many I eat of these per day, but I eat a lot of them. They're not super duper duper high in vitamin C. They are 455 milligrams. So let's see. Proprietary Super C blend is 455 milligrams. It has 150 milligrams of vitamin C. So it's not like a high dose. But any vitamin C is better than no vitamin C. I eat a lot less fruit in the winter, so this is just a better supplement for me. I travel with it. I just munch on it all the time. I keep one by my computer. Young Living has done this as a freebie multiple times, and I love it. So there's also a capsule that we have, a Super C vitamin C capsule. So that's it. So this vitamin C, these things work best in combination. So they like shine. Vitamin C really shines when it's paired with collagen, when it's paired with omega-3s, and then zinc. And then when you add in adequate protein, it provides a lot of really good building blocks for skin renewal just by eating protein. Topical vitamin C's are helpful, like the serums. We don't, Young Living doesn't have one, but I think they're helpful for like surface level brightness of the face, but an oral vitamin C is what's really going to support the skin from the inside out. It's going to improve the structure of your skin, the hydration and repair that like a topical serum would never fully address alone. Okay, next, I would love to move on to essential oils for winter skin. And sorry if I'm not looking at the chat, you guys, I can only do one thing at a time. I will take questions at the end or comments at the end. I just can't focus on two things. Anyway, moving on. Essential oils. Okay, so these are very powerful tools for winter skin when used correctly. Um, there's some oils that can be more drying, and then there's some essential oils that are very nourishing for dry skin. So lavender is one that is phenomenal for dry skin. Phenomenal, which is why I love we have that lavender lotion and we have the lavender lip balm. It's got all those other ingredients for nourishing skin, but the lavender is amazing. I have used straight lavender just on dry chapped lips, and it helps so much. Very calming, very soothing for the skin. Frankincense is another one that's known for supporting healthy skin, wrinkles, hydration, all of that. Copaiba is good. It's very gentle. It's very comforting, very nourishing. Um, I feel like that one really addresses the inflammation that could be happening, especially with irritated skin. Geranium, that is really nice oil for skin dryness. It's very balancing. It has a very, very, very strong aroma though. So you gotta love geranium for one. But secondly, where are you going? Where are you going to be hanging out? Because it has such a strong aroma. If you're getting on an airplane, that is not the one for you. It's very strong, very floral. I would just be very mindful about using too much of that, and in public spaces. Lots of people love geranium though. It's amazing oil. Smells so good, but not everybody loves a very strong floral. It's a very strong, pungent floral. Myrrh essential oil is especially loved for dry skin, especially when it's cracked. If you don't know what to use myrrh for, cracked skin is amazing, and spider bites, those are my go-tos. And then if your skin is very dry and you're really wanting to spread out these essential oils, add a carrier oil, add some coconut oil or V6 oil or olive oil or something like that. Don't add, conventional vegetable oil or canola oil or any garbage like that. You don't want any processed oils like that. You just want a natural fatty oil from like olive oil or coconut, like a seed that's or nut or you know what I'm saying? There's V6 has 6 oils in it, and they're all really healthy carrier oils. They're fatty, they're greasy, they're very moisturizing. They're what you would use in a massage oil. So use one of those or one of the massage oils, right? So winter bath and showers. Hot showers feel amazing in the winter, so do hot baths, but they are one of the biggest contributors to dry skin. Using warm and not super hot water, very gentle cleansers is helpful. And then, of course, moisturizing immediately right after makes a big difference, especially on damp skin. Um, Young Living has the most incredible bath and shower gels ever, ever, ever. If you've never used one, I really just implore you to try them out. If you have loyalty points or you just, want to try it, get one of them. You will love them. They're so great. They are very cleansing and they don't strip all of the natural oils on your skin. They're very, very gentle. We have several um, bath and body gel, bath and shower gel options. We've got a lavender one, which is my personal favorite. We have one called Sensation, which is really, really nice. It's very flirty smelling. We have one called Morning Start. It's very invigorating and refreshing. And we have another one called Evening Peace. It's just very calming and relaxing. The kids have one. It's a kid's scent. There's one that has nothing in it, no fragrance at all, and you can either add your own oils to it or just have a completely unscented bath and shower gel. But I love it because it's just nice on really dry, achy skin, tight, achy skin from the winter. I have a really great bath recipe that I would love to share with y'all, and that is a cup of Epsom salts, a cup of baking soda, 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of Sacred Mountain essential oil blend, or any other calming blend that you might love, but I love Sacred Mountain. And then 1 or 2 pumps of the massage oil from Young Living. I love them, the relaxation one or the V6. Those are the two I use the most. Usually my skin just absorbs it right up. I wouldn't use more than 1 or 2 pumps because that will leave your bathtub greasy. My bathtub doesn't get greasy because I don't know if the salts absorb it or if it's all my skin, but it is such a healing recipe. And the baking soda makes it, of course, more alkaline in the bathtub, and that is just really nice on your skin. Lotions and moisturizing basics. Okay, so consistency is what matters here with our winter skin more than anything. We want to moisturize daily, even if you don't feel like it. And we always want to apply it when our skin is slightly damp to just help seal in that moisture. So you can pay extra attention to hands, feet, elbows, knees. We do have 2 very intense ointments for very, very, very dry skin, or some people use it for rashes or just really irritated skin. We have the animal sense ointment, which is great for humans, and we have the rose ointment, and they're both phenomenal. In the spring, I get kind of crazy allergies, and I'll rub my eyes, and my eyes will get really raw and just really sensitive to the touch. And so I'll use the rose ointment around my eyes, and that's really nice. So if you have like raw skin from like itching or tightness or dryness, like the rose ointment and the animal scents are so nice, or even like dry cuticles, it's nice for that. Um, I've put a Q-tip in them and swab the inside of my nose. My nose is really dry. And when our nose is really dry, that's when we tend to, or like viruses will really like hang out in a dry nose and get up in there and make you sick. When our nose is very moisturized and lubricated and slimy, so to speak, from the mucus, right? That's viruses have a hard time getting past that. It's harder to get sick when your nose is wet on the inside than when it's dry. It's much easier to get sick when it's dry. So try the Q-tip tip. Even when you're getting on an airplane and you're breathing all the things of people around you, it's nice to put some animal scents in your nose with a Q-tip. And then just to stay healthy, to just stop viruses in their tracks there. And then like nobody likes a dry nose. It's painful anyway. So moving on to our lotions, they are amazing. It took me years to try one because I don't even know why. I just don't even know. I felt like I had 18 bottles of lotion like most women do. And I was at a friend's house who was hosting a Young Living meeting. I was already a member, and she had out her Young Living lotions for everyone to try. And I was like, that is brilliant. I'm so trying this right now. And I fell in love. And I've been sold ever since on the lavender lotion that Young Living has. I've used the Genesis lotion. I've used the Luscious Lemon. I've used the Kid Sense. What else do we have? We have the Seedlings. We have Regenolone. There's several lotions, but the lavender is like my first love of lotions. It's not greasy. It's also not light. It is a heavy moisturizing lotion, but it soaks in so well and it just doesn't leave you greasy. It's amazing. And it's healing because it's got lavender in it. So, um, I love it. I would love to know in the comments that I'm not reading, that I can't see, what your favorite Young Living lotion is. The Genesis lotion, I will say, is a member favorite. It's got MSM in it, which is very healing for the skin, but it's being reformulated right now. So I'm not sure when it will be back. It will come back with MSM still in it. I do know that. I just don't know when. So do not fret. It is coming back. It's a nice one too. I like that one too, but the lavender one is the best for me. I love it. It's very calming. And lotions are a really great way to get oils in as well. I have kids that go to summer camp, and their summer camp has said, don't let your kids bring essential oils." And I was like, "Oh, they're bringing them. They will bring them. If I have to dump a bottle of essential oil into a bottle of lavender lotion to get lavender on them for sunburns, that's what we're doing." And so I started doing that. I just added literally like half a bottle to a bottle of lavender lotion, and I would send them to camp with their lavender lotion for their sunburns and just dry skin or whatever, if the chlorine dries out their skin. So if you don't want to put oils on directly, you can put them in your lotion and then just put them on. We have a lot of lotions, several of them. The babies one for babies is called Seedlings, and it's very, very, just very light and gentle and smells amazing. Okay, next up is our massage oils. They really provide some deep hydration. They are especially helpful in winter because of the deep hydration. They support circulation. They also encourage relaxation and, of course, self-care during a season when our bodies really need it. V6 is going to be the carrier oil base in all of our massage oils. I think there's 7 massage oils, or it might be 6. It's 6 or 7, and they all smell amazing. Like I said, I usually add a pump to one of my baths when I take a bath. Be careful getting out of the bath though, okay? Because while my bathtub doesn't get greasy, yours might. I don't know. I don't know how well your skin's going to absorb it. So my skin usually does pretty good with that. But they're great for massage, especially if you really want to cover an area like a whole back or a whole leg. You're not going to drop 40 drops of lavender probably on your leg to cover your whole leg. So, use 5 or 6 and then a few squirts of carrier oil, and then you can really spread that out across a larger body part. Facial care in the winter. Our skin needs extra care in the winter, and Young Living has some really gentle cleansers and moisturizers, and they are way better than any harsh product. And then I also feel like exfoliating should be reduced a little bit. I think our facial cleansers do a really good job of keeping the oils in your skin, like your natural oils. And the art cleanser is probably my favorite for that. Frankincense, lavender, geranium, those are all very popular oils for skincare. Tea tree is as well. LME is another good one for skincare. I think it's really nice to put them on neat and straight without any dilution, but you can also add them to your moisturizer. Just 1 drop is really all you need. A very simple nighttime facial can be like a tablespoon of carrier oil, excuse me, of carrier oil, and maybe a drop each of frankincense and lavender or geranium. And then you put that on and kind of wipe off the excess, like massage it in really good, but then wipe off the excess, or maybe just pull it off and like rub it into your skin somewhere else. I hate to waste oils, but it provides for like a really nice overnight hydration, sleeping on that. And then we have 6 facial moisturizers Young Living does. They're all very unique. They are all wonderful. We have the Art Intensifying Moisturizer, which is intense. It is a thick, intense cream, but it is not greasy. It does not leave you shiny. It's my favorite moisturizer that we have. It's very absorbative, if that's a word. It absorbs very well. The Bloom Brightening Cream is a second for me. I love that one too. It's also a thicker cream. It's got like brightening, lightening properties, like if you have sun damage or it's not one to like lighten melasma, but I would say maybe sunspots are probably more up the Bloom alley. We have the Bloom brightening lotion, and that is very, very light. It's also for brightening and lightening. We have another skincare line called Balance. It's the Balance mattifying lotion. A lot of teenagers love this because it's really geared towards acne-prone skin. There's no shine with it, which is great. It's very mattifying. We have a brightening eye cream. It's beautiful. It's lovely. We also have a wolfberry eye cream. The brightening eye cream is probably a member favorite for getting rid of puffy, circles and puffiness and dark circles and things like that. And then we have our Boswellia firming cream, which is not meant for the face. I know some people that use it for the face, but it wasn't formulated for that. It is formulated for all of this right here, your chest, your décolleté, your shoulders, saggy skin on their arms or whatever. It is a firming cream, so it's very thick. It doesn't it just doesn't absorb as well on the face as it does on this thicker skin here, okay? It's phenomenal though. It is really great. And then lastly, we have something called CBD Beauty Glow. That is like skincare powerhouse. And it is our full spectrum CBD beauty oil, and it is crafted from naturally grown hemp. And then you just it has essential oils in it too, and it has deep spectra technology in it. So it very deeply hydrates, it soothes, and it just beautifies the skin. It's lovely. Lip, hands, and feet. Lips have very thin skin and they dry out very quickly in winter. So frequent use of Young Living's lip balms is important. Even if they don't feel dry, maybe just go to bed with it on. Even if you don't need it, just lock in the moisture. If you love the Young Living lip balms like I do, then you cannot imagine ever, ever, ever using a different brand. I would never cheat on Young Living's lip balm. It is the best of the best. If you've never tried it, here is your sign. It is a whopping $4. Like, add it to your next order if you don't have it. And the beauty about the lip balm is it has a lot of uses. Like, I know people that buy one, they just designate it for their nose and they turn it up, and that's what they swab the inside of their nose with for a dry nose. And it says nose on it so that nobody else uses it and they don't use it anywhere else on their body. I know people that use it for dry cuticles and nails. I was in a pinch on traveling once and I got peppermint in my eye. And my brilliant, I don't know how old he was, 7 maybe at the time. He's like, Mommy, just get some lip balm and put it in your eye. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're brilliant. So I got some lip balm. I had some in my purse. I scraped it off. I melted it just by putting it on my hand. And then my body temperature melted it really well. And then I just kind of like scraped it into the inside of my eyelid and it took that peppermint sting away immediately. So there's lots of uses for that. Any dry area that lip balm can do, elbows, knuckles, whatever. I love that lip balm so much. They're so good. There's multiple scents. There's grapefruit, cinnamon, and lavender. And then, of course, around Christmas, we come out with different other seasonal ones. I think our hands and our feet are what take the biggest hit because in winter, because of all the washing, all of the cold exposure, all of the friction that our hands and feet get. Um, Nighttime care is probably a really easy routine to get into for caring for your hands and feet in the winter. Applying lavender oil with the lotion, even some animal scents maybe, or the rose ointment in different areas that you might need it. And then you can wear, socks overnight or whatever. But again, lavender oil isn't fatty, it's not greasy, but it sure does work amazing on dry skin. The biggest thing I will say, and those are all of my recommendations, by the way, um, is you have to be consistent, especially with your hydration, especially with your omega-3s, and sealing in moisture while your skin is still a little bit damp, not totally dry, because that support the healing, the consistent, supple skin that we love in the summer, if we want that in the winter, we have to do that consistently and on a regular basis. So, um, I don't know what that looks like for you. Maybe a winter setup for you could be like a gentle bath with the shower gel and then your lotion and a V6 oil or some different essential oils with that. Like these are all the basics, right? These are just things that cover the most winter skin needs, and they're very, very easy to customize. I will say I would only use Young Living for my skincare. I literally don't use anything else. There's not anything else I use on my skin, and I get compliments on my skin all the time. Um, they're very easy to add essential oils to, like the different products, like massage oils or the lotions or the moisturizers. Like you can customize it in however way you want. I was in a pinch traveling once and I somehow forgot my moisturizer. I was in Utah, so my skin was like alligator skin. I mean, my skin just dries out so bad in Utah because I live in a humid climate. And I got there and I was dying. Like my face was just so crackly. And I remembered, I was like, okay, so carrier oils, that's gonna be moisturizing. What do I have with a carrier oil? Because I didn't bring massage oil. Oh, you know what? I have Valor. Valor has a carrier oil in it. So for that whole trip, I used Valor on my face and it worked like a charm. So you can just get resourceful. Think about the things that bring moisture and healing to your skin and where you can find them. Even if you have to borrow coconut oil from somebody, I don't know, but there's so many options to keep it natural. You don't ever have to compromise on ingredients and toxic chemicals because there's always going to be a natural solution. Even if you just buy it at the grocery store, like even if you're just buying coconut oil, like okay, that works. Or olive oil or something, like I can dab that on. I can literally just dab that on and it be enough. So, my final thoughts are I think when it just comes to products, that winter skincare is less about aggressive treatments, which is how most of us treat it. We treat it aggressively, and instead it's going to be more about gentle, consistent support throughout the season. And it doesn't require complicated routines. It's very easy to do things naturally and keep them simple and listen to your body and remember that self-care really is skincare, especially in the winter. So, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I would love to open it up for some Q&A if I can find the chat. Or maybe there it is. Okay, here we go. I use lavender lip balm to take the itch out of the occasional kitten scratch. Oh, I love that. What a great idea. What a great idea. Did anyone else ask something earlier when I was talking that wants to ask anything now? We have just a few minutes. Supplements safe for breastfeeding. The collagen would be, the green omega would be, and the vitamin C would be, yes. Those are the only three I mentioned. You have someone, Melissa, you have a family member that uses animal sense ointment for psoriasis. Not surprised.
And it works beautiful for them.
Awesome. I love that. How do I use Bloom essential oil for skin? You know what? I don't. I use that as a perfume. I love the way that stuff smells. I just use the Bloom skincare products on my skin. Also, I just forgot there's a Texas hanging behind me, but I am in Kentucky. It's funny. Anyone else before we hang up? Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Feel free to unmute yourself and say goodnight.
Thank you.
Good
Good night.
night. Thank you, April.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Good night.
Thank you, April.
You're welcome.
It's great.
Thank you.